Welcome back to Diesel Creek. My name's Matt.
Something just happened with Matt Stetar from Diesel Creek, and fans are stunned. From unexpected job changes to rumors about a new venture, this update has everyone asking questions. Is this the end of an era or at the start of something massive? Stick around and don't forget to hit subscribe. Matt Stetar never imagined his future would involve cameras, content, and construction. Born and raised in a quiet Pennsylvania town, Matt's life started off like many others. Simple, grounded, and surrounded by family. His early exposure to machinery wasn't intentional. It was more of a family tradition. His grandfather was a skilled mechanic who could fix just about anything. That mechanical know-how was passed to Matt's father, though he chose a completely different career path, selling office equipment. Oddly enough, Matt wasn't planning to follow in either of their footsteps. The idea of becoming a mechanic or working on engines didn't cross his mind seriously. He was just a small-town kid with no clear roadmap. YouTube? It wasn't even on the horizon. In those early years, the concept of creating videos for a living sounded like a fantasy. He attended a Catholic high school in West Virginia and quickly realized he didn't mesh well with the traditional push for four-year college degrees. That path just didn't feel right. So instead of trying to force a future that didn't fit, he started searching for something else, something that felt more like him. That's where everything began to change. After finishing high school, Matt didn't waste time. Instead of going to a big university, he enrolled at a local community college and earned a welding certificate. It was a practical move, hands-on, useful, and far more appealing than sitting in a lecture hall. Welding gave him a skill he could immediately put to work. But even with that certification in hand, the road wasn't smooth. He bounced from one short-term job to another, searching for the right fit. Nothing quite clicked until he found a role at a landscaping company. At first, it seemed like just another job, but this one had potential. The company was expanding into excavation work, which gave Matt a chance to get his hands on real equipment. He started off building retaining walls, getting dirty, and learning by doing. Over time, he shifted into site-clearing projects where he operated actual heavy machinery. That's where the gears began to turn, literally and figuratively. It wasn't just about moving dirt anymore, it was the start of something bigger. What started as a landscaping job slowly opened a door that would eventually lead to Diesel Creek. But there were still plenty of bumps and detours ahead before he reached that point. Matt's confidence and capability kept growing. Operating equipment became second nature, and with every new job, he picked up something different. Eventually, he left the landscaping company for a job at a machine shop. It was closer to home, came with benefits, and let him work as a mechanic, fixing the same kind of machinery he used to operate. That's where things got interesting. Being hands-on in a repair environment rekindled his childhood curiosity. He loved diagnosing issues and bringing machines back to life. It wasn't just work, it was a challenge, and Matt thrived in that space. But as time went on, routine crept in. Matt wasn't the kind of guy to get too comfortable. He started looking for something new, and when a steel additive plant offered him a stable job with better pay, he jumped at the chance. It felt like a smart move. There was family history there. His father had worked at that plant years before. But just days before he was supposed to start, the opportunity vanished. The company had unexpected problems and couldn't bring him on after all. Suddenly, Matt was stuck between jobs, and the timing couldn't have been worse. The offer from the steel plant had seemed rock solid. Matt had already handed in his 2-week notice at the machine shop, ready to make the leap. But just as his notice period was ending, he got the call. There was no job. The plant had run into unexpected issues and couldn't move forward with the hire. That one phone call flipped everything upside down. Matt had already closed the door behind him. Now he was without a new job and unsure of his next move. Swallowing his pride, he returned to the machine shop and asked for his old job back. Thankfully, they took him in again, but the moment stuck with him. It was a wake-up call. Even the best-laid plans could fall apart instantly. And for someone like Matt, who valued stability, that unpredictability hit hard. But setbacks didn't stop him. They made him tougher. And soon, he left again, this time to build transformers at a new facility. Then came another call, this time from a cousin working in road construction. The cousin encouraged Matt to apply, and before long, Matt landed a spot in the union. That's when his career took another unexpected and exciting turn. Being part of the union brought solid pay, better benefits, and steady work. But even while resurfacing roads or working pipeline jobs, Matt always had a camera nearby. He didn't think of YouTube as a business, he just liked filming cool stuff. It was a habit he had picked up during his dirt biking days, filming friends at the track. Back then, the videos were rough, but they captured the energy of the moment. That habit carried over into his work life. He filmed heavy machines in action, repairs, job sites, even the problem-solving sessions that most people never get to see. But there was no real plan. YouTube was something he dabbled in when time allowed. He had a growing archive of footage, but no consistent upload schedule. His full-time work left little room for editing or posting videos. Then came a breakthrough. During a tough project, he and his crew had to come up with a creative solution. They nailed it, and Matt thought, this might be worth documenting. That spark reignited the channel. At first, the views trickled in, but then something shifted. Matt's side project was slowly turning into something much bigger, and he didn't even realize it yet. Diesel Creek officially started to gain momentum when Matt decided to post consistently. That one problem-solving video lit the fire, and once he began uploading regularly, people noticed. Within 6 months, he had 1,000 subscribers. Soon after, he hit 30,000. It wasn't overnight success, but it was steady and promising. As he kept filming and sharing more behind-the-scenes action, the audience grew. Viewers loved the raw, honest approach. There were no gimmicks, just real work, real machines, and a guy doing what he loved. By May 2023, Diesel Creek crossed 600,000 subscribers. Just 5 months later, in October 2024, that number jumped to 800,000. The content resonated with fans of all ages, whether they were into machinery construction or just appreciated hard work. But here's the wild part. Even with that kind of growth, Matt wasn't fully committed to YouTube yet. He still saw it as a side hustle. Going full-time would mean giving up his union status, and that wasn't a decision he took lightly. Still, the channel kept growing. The views, the comments, the momentum, it all kept pulling him towards something new. But the biggest push was yet to come. Then came 2020, a year that changed everything. Matt, like many others, found himself laid off from his job. But instead of panicking, he saw an opportunity. He finally had time to go through all the footage he'd filmed over the years. No more excuses, no more delays. He began editing, organizing, and uploading. And the response was massive. People connected with the authenticity of his videos. There were no shortcuts, just a guy showing what real work looked like. As the world slowed down, Diesel Creek picked up speed. Even when a job offer came back through the union, Matt turned it down. He was already building something special, and he could feel it. It was a risk for sure. Walking away from a stable job was never part of his plan. But for the first time, content creation wasn't just a hobby. It was a real career. And as the views rolled in, so did new opportunities. Behind the scenes, Matt's personal life was blossoming too. In October 2021, he married Eva Simone. Their love story stayed mostly private, but one thing's clear. Eva brought a creative spark to the Diesel Creek journey. They had both attended the same community college and grew up in the same small town. Small world connection turned into something lasting. Eva had experience with content creation from her time at an animal hospital, and her skills blended perfectly with Matt's passion for machinery and storytelling. Despite growing success and a rising fan base, Matt stayed grounded. No lavish lifestyle, no spotlight chasing, just a guy who puts his family and passions first. That down-to-earth approach is part of what keeps fans coming back. It's real, it's relatable, and it feels like home. With the channel booming, Matt's income sources expanded too. Aside from ad revenue, Diesel Creek's online store became a major player, selling everything from t-shirts and hoodies to stickers and beverage gear. Estimates now place Matt's net worth at over $2 million, and he's not stopping there. Rumors are swirling that he's exploring the sale of heavy equipment, possibly launching a new branch of the Diesel Creek brand. What do you think Matt's next move will be? Will Diesel Creek go even bigger or take a surprise turn? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. And if this story inspired you, hit that like button, subscribe, and check out our next deep dive into another creator's journey.